Good morning. Yes, I'm still here. Hang on. Got a little behind schedule this morning. So, and I can tell you why. We'll give it a minute for people to pop on. Happy Sunday. Welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance. Good morning, Ruth Ann. Welcome, welcome. And it says there are two of you here, but Ruth Ann, you're the only one whose name is rolling. So there we go. Abigail, good morning. Good morning. And I got to get some lotion here. Yes, so I'm all discombobulated and behind schedule, but I'm laughing because it totally makes sense. It totally makes sense. So I'll share with you in a moment as we add a few people here. The unfolding of the morning. Good morning, Beth. Welcome, welcome. Glad you are here. See, you have a lion. It looks like for an image on your. It's very tiny, but it looks like a lion. So that's pretty cool. So as you're rolling in here, we'll get ready for our Sunday morning reading, and there's so much funny stuff about this I can't even begin to tell you. So first of all, I'm not rolling out of bed real well, right? So hit the snooze. I think it was twice. Yeah. So then I go to get dressed and I'm like, okay, it's supposed to be warm here today, 55 degrees. And I know I want to go to the park. So what do I want to wear? Blah, blah, blah. So that took longer than it usually does. Usually it's, this is good enough. So got down here, went and refilled the water because I just had a sense today's reading was going to be longer. Muscle tested for our card deck. Sure as heck, the Wild Kuan Yin deck. And we know those can be quite in-depth, Alana Fairchild. And funny, because as I pulled the card out, they have numbers on them. So this is number 40. And I start going backward through the book because 40 is close to the end of the book. And I'm going through one and I'm going, man, I hope it isn't this one. This is long. Blue Lion, Beth Louise. Oh, cool. Yes, absolutely no personal picks. I get it. Understood. So, cool, a Blue Lion. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing the story. So, I'm paging back through going, man, this is a long one. Of course it's number 40. Of course it is. And then I haven't really paid attention to the words on the card yet. I just noticed the 40 and started looking for it. And then I'm like, how did I put it? Something like, well, this is just arduous, blah, blah, blah. What's the title of the card? Her joy renders the impossible task possible. Okay, fine, I get it. So we have today, her joy renders the impossible task possible. There she is, sailing along. I don't know if she's holding onto the yak's tail. Yeah, it looks like she's holding onto his tail. So, going for a ride. Yeah. So, and I know we've had this card within the past year because it actually, the message struck me so profoundly that I actually had it sitting on my desk for a long time. Apparently the universe is saying, put it on your desk again. So let us start with some breathing. In through the nose, out through the mouth. That feels good. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Getting all the knots and kinks out today. In through the nose, out through the mouth. First, I have to tell you a little aside before I read you the card. Many of you know that my mother was an antiques dealer and that she left us a whole lot of stuff to part with. And we continue to, 4 years later, churn our way through. Actually, it's going to be 5. Yeah. Churn our way through all of this stuff, right? Well, yesterday, I had cleared off a credenza at the warehouse. And it's right when you come in the door, we end up doing like monthly rummage sales to part with all of this. I mean, and it's cool stuff. So it's not really throw-outable, right? And my dad would not be up for throwing things out anyway. So I thought to myself, okay, this is a whole credenza. There's a lot of room here. Last year, I forget what we had on there first, but next came a bunch of 1970s Star Wars toys. We still have a Millennium Falcon in case you're interested. Anywho, back to the story. This whole great expanse to put something. So I thought, you know, I think there are like 5 boxes. Just wait. 5 boxes of some fancy dishes, some expensive dishes in my old bedroom. Let's go see, because that would fit on this credenza. It was 11 boxes, and this is incredibly expensive stuff. It's called Old Country Roses, and it's Royal Dalton, Royal Albert set. And some of them still have the price tag on, like a platter for $249 from the 70s. So I'm like, I better Google Lens this stuff. Anywho, if you know anybody who collects Royal Dalton, the Country Roses pattern, we can hook them up. So anyway, the point was hauling all those boxes. Like today, my hands hurt from trying to hang on to the boxes. My back hurts because they were heavy. On and on and on. So I got my workout yesterday. I did really well, but it slowed me down a little bit this morning. So let us read. Her joy renders the impossible task possible. I have a task for you. It is a sacred purpose burned in your heart, and you experience it as a desire, as the big, bold dream that you may not dare to speak aloud. You must trust me and my power, for that is greater than any doubt or fear. I have created this task, this sacred purpose, just for you. Your eyebrows going up at all? Good morning, Mel. Glad you're here. And you popped on just as I'm reading this, so I wonder what this is for you. I have created this task, this sacred purpose, just for you. It will ask many things of you. You shall have to give up what you have been holding on to in order to open your arms to receive it. Ooh. Let's see. In dropping your ideas of impossibility and stepping into the joy of the journey, my beloved divine wild child, your destiny will be manifested through you rapidly, and all manner of miracles shall assist you on your way. Now that sounds lovely, doesn't it? That sounds lovely. I'm ready. So today, this fine Sunday, is going to be focusing on the joy. Focusing on the joy. The task is there, the call to action is there, but doing it with joy, taking steps with joy, is what's going to make all the difference. Such fun you shall have in the process of discovering what you are capable of when your heart is open and you believe in me unconditionally. Anybody else feeling the challenge here? I know I am. When you leap, do it with joy upon your lips as you squeal with glee, and know that even the trickiest task shall be made attainable through my grace. This is calling us out, isn't it? No more doubt, no more fear. Step up, leap. So here's the other part of it. That was the, what would I call that? The thumbnail sketch. Here's the deep dive. There is something you are meant to do. You've been growing towards it your entire life. All your life circumstances, lessons, and situations have been teaching you valuable skills and wisdoms so that you are equipped for the tasks demanded by your divine destiny. You may know clearly what those tasks are, or they may as yet be a mystery to you. You may not be A big picture sort of person, preferring to focus simply on accomplishing the many smaller tasks before you each day. I tend to be more of a big picture person, but some of you may be those small task people. We need both. We need all, right? Even without the vision, this daily disciplined approach will lead you higher and higher until you have ascended the peak of your own personal mountain and can see the broader picture of how all those smaller tasks have prepared you for a bigger journey of passion and purpose. For you to take this next step, whether it feels like the leap that will launch your destiny into an entirely new level of manifestation, or whether it just feels like the next step and not a particularly significant one at that on your journey, you are being guided. The oracle tells you that to truly take this next step, no matter how big or small you may imagine it to be, you must let go of doubt, fear, hesitation, judgment, and control. Now that is no small task. Well, there you are. You are the divine wild child. Embrace, enjoy, leap, giggle. However, what is being asked of you is truly pleasurable, which will make the task rather more palatable, if perhaps not so much easier at first. So there's going to be some difficulty here, but it's going to be enjoyable when we challenge ourselves to grow, to see what we actually can do. The pleasure is in the key to successfully taking this next step, to allow joy to be your safety net, your attitude, the feelings by which you are guided, and the basis for your decisions. Bliss, happiness, joy, these are high frequency, high states of being, which cannot be contrived, and yet, despite what mainstream culture tends to think, are not dependent on our life circumstance. That is a great and powerful teaching, and perhaps one of the most radically freeing teachings that Divine Mother can ever bestow upon us. So think about that. It's not about our circumstances. We can be joyful in the most mundane of circumstances. We can be joyful in the most difficult of circumstances. And how many people have you seen who have it all, really, and they're not happy? They're not happy. So the other end of this holds true as well. It's all about what's going on here. Yeah. To learn to feel joy in our hearts without having to have a particular reason for it is the beginning of access to great spiritual power. To be able to tap into the frequency of joy, of simple delight in being alive, and utter appreciation, reverence, and gratitude for the humor, diversity, and beauty, even the confounding, inexplicable mystery of creation, is remarkable. Love that the word diversity is in there. Moving on. It is the way to cultivate divine power, the sort of power that allows you to fall completely in trust and land with perfect precision. It's the best of possible circumstances for you to fulfill your divine destiny. Okay, take a breath. Let it go. Let's do one more. Open ourselves up to this message. This is an awesome message. I think I may make a plan twice a day to read this, morning and evening. There may be darker times, darker emotions that will be your companions at different times upon your life journey. Sometimes those darker companions will feel even more familiar and constant to you than the joy always gurgling beneath the surface of your life experiences. It requires a strong and compassionate will to honor all you feel without denying the darker emotions that will come and go at times, whilst also deciding to gently but firmly bring yourself back into connection with the joy that exists within always, just like the sun behind the ever-shifting clouds in the sky. So if you think about joy as always being present, you don't have to create it. You just have to uncover it from wherever it's been covered up. The clouds moving in front of the sun, kind of a deal. The joy within you is what acknowledges life without having to control it. You are alive. You are growing. You are learning. Your life is a fascinating, challenging, beautiful, and at times perhaps completely confusing and bamboozling experience. So we may get into the whatever, keep moving, whatever. You can appreciate it all. You may have a preference for less suffering and mental anguish. I think most of us do. But you can accept that all experiences serve some sort of divine purpose to help us learn, even if the learning is to let go of needing to hold on to the pain. When we kind of had that point, was that yesterday? Feels longer ago than that, but it might have been yesterday, about being cautious in taking on definitions of ourselves that are limiting, whether you see yourself as the victim, whether you see your life as nothing works out for me, whatever those belief systems are that mess up the joy part of things. At a certain point in the journey, when we have learned to surrender judgment and learned to open with increasing acceptance to all experiences that life delivers, even the ones we would prefer never to have to repeat, we will be ready for this new way to be. To walk the path of joy may seem simple, and it is, but it is simplicity that has been well earned through fully letting go of the need to control, understand, or judge. Life just is. That might be a great mantra. That might be a great t-shirt. Life just is. We live it the best we can, and so too do others. We no longer need to compare or criticize ourselves or others. We come out of our heads and into our hearts. How many times have we heard that in the last 6 months, right? Who's driving the bus? And in that journey, we discover a kind of freedom of spirit, a place within where joy can happen, spontaneous and unbridled. You are being called to that place. It is simple but profoundly high in frequency. Is that not what we've been striving for quite a long time? Raising our frequency, coming up out of those lower frequencies and into a higher order way of being. The divine can work very easily with a human being in that state because nothing is resisted. I love this. This is a fabulous reading, right? There is no coaxing or cajoling, analysis or procrastination, overthinking or fearful acting out that drains energy and slows down the manifestation process. There is just presence. And life can happen with utter immediacy. It sounds effortless, and it is, but it requires much courage to allow ourselves to reside in such a state, to take ourselves to that joyful well again and again and again, no matter how much darkness we may encounter within or in the world at times. Yeah, we'll let that one sit. Whether you consciously recognize it or not, there is a wellspring of joy within that never dries up. It is not always easy to feel it, and that is part of the mystery of human experience. Yet the time has come when another step is upon you, and you need access to that joy within, the high frequency it releases within you in order to take the next step on your life path. There's no need to worry or be concerned. There's just a step to take with an open and happy heart. If you are not sure what it is, it will either happen naturally without you even realizing it, or if you need to know, that knowledge will become apparent to you at the right time and place, and you'll take your step. So hear that. You're going to take this step. It's going to happen. We don't need to fret about it. At that point, it will just be that natural step. Okay? In a state of fear and doubt, the step may seem impossible, foolish, ridiculous. You may not even be able to sense it in that state of being at all, like trying to see the sun through the thick storm clouds. Yet in a state of joy, it will be the easiest, most natural step for you to take, and the actual step itself will seem obvious. Obvious is always useful for human beings, isn't it? You won't need to think about it. You'll just do it because you feel good, and so will taking that step. So go into your heart, feel the delight of the Divine Mother's smile as she nods and says, yes, this is meant to happen now. And dance with her into your next step, knowing it will happen at the perfect time and in the perfect way. So that kind of harkens back to what Tosha Silver tells us over and over and over. The divine right choice is already chosen. It's on its way to me in divine right timing and divine right order. I'm so happy and grateful to receive it. There we go. Let's put joyful in there also. This oracle comes to you with guidance. There is nothing, hear that again, there is nothing that is impossible. Approach your decisions from a place of joy. If you are ill, tired, fatigued, or finding the idea of summoning joy impossible in itself, then you need rest. Take it. Enjoy it if you can. Today should be hopefully, all around the United States, a beautiful sunny day. Step into that. Spend some time with your face turned to the sun. Soak it up. Feel the joy. Drop everything and don't try to push anything or keep going until you have rested sufficiently and a step forward feels good rather than a chore to muscle your way through. That's a beautiful sentence, isn't it? How many of us have been trained to be the muscle your way through people? Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing until you fall over because you're exhausted. This is saying, no, no, no. Rest up. Then you take the journey in joy. That next step will be obvious and you'll dance through it instead of trudge through it. Okay? Once you are refreshed, you will be able to drop into your heart and move forward in a joyful way. It will move you further, more swiftly and easily than any amount of effort at a lower vibration of fear, doubt, and uncertainty. Think of it as kind of like a slipstream. The birds have this. Good morning, Gwen. Glad you're here. We have an awesome card today. The birds know this. They will find the slipstream and allow it to take them rather than fighting the flow and having to flap, 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 flap like maniacs, right? They're in a flow. They're smart enough to figure this out. If they can figure it out, we can figure it out, right? So let me read that last question with two questions. Once you are refreshed, you will be able to drop into your heart and move forwards in a joyful way. It will move you further, more swiftly and easily than any amount of effort at a lower vibration of fear, doubt, or uncertainty. This oracle brings you comfort. Follow your bliss. Do what you love and learn to hold love for your process, even if it is during a dark and challenging time. You are promised an outcome that will bring you so much joy that even the darkest times that led you there will be looked back upon with gratitude and reverence. If you or a loved one have suffered from emotional or mental anguish, physical illness, or anything that has drained your capacity to feel joy and happiness in life, know that this oracle brings you glad tidings. The ability to feel happiness will return. You may wonder if the ability to feel joy has drained right out of you, but it has not. It is there waiting for you to remember it, always, and so it shall happen according to the Divine Mother's compassion and grace. The Divine Mother will offer you many gifts that heal you and open you up to the natural joy within. It is a fire of love within that has never been extinguished and can never be taken from you, no matter how much darkness you might have encountered. If you have been working hard, this oracle brings you messages of rest and play. I like that, rest and play. If you have also drawn or feel intuitively the need to read and complete the healing process for the oracle of Play With Me, then the guidance is amplified. Remember to balance all that hard work with some time out. You'll be more productive if you remember to temper your passion with playfulness. That prevents doubt, bitterness, and disappointment, which are all symptoms of fatigue, from gaining ground. Finally, This oracle brings news of a spiritual gift, of something taking place that will bring you great delight. Even though a part of you has perhaps wished for something of the like, you haven't really believed it could be possible, that it could really happen. But something will transpire that will become your spiritual gift, something you want very much, and it will be a double gift, the gift itself and the joyful trust in life it encourages within your heart. Remain open in your heart and mind, and the Divine Mother shall orchestrate this offering according to the perfection of her joyful grace. And the piece that stands out for me from that last sentence before we move into our healing process is remain open in your heart and mind. Notice the priority there. The driver of the bus and the back of the bus. Heart and mind. So here's the healing process. I want you to find a comfortable spot, sit or lie down, close your eyes, and I want you to sit quietly and visualize. Take some nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One more, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Imagine a softly gurgling fountain of pure, cool water. The fountain is made of a beautiful stone, perhaps marble or crystal. It sits in a beautiful, spacious, sacred space, perhaps in a temple or in nature. Just being near this fountain makes you feel good, happy, peaceful, and relaxed. As you get closer to this fountain, you may even find you feel a bit giggly or euphoric. And with each gurgle of water in the fountain, a corresponding feeling of joy gurgles in your heart. The more you sit near or even in this fountain, the more it cleanses you gently from a deep cellular level. And you just feel really good. Happy, joyful, smiling. Stay there for as long as you wish. And we have a prayer to say, and we'll do call and response as usual. Kuan Yin, who loves me unconditionally, bless me with the ability to feel the wellspring of joy within. Restore me to my natural state and help me live with that joy ever available, even in times of challenge. I have compassion for the darkness in myself and for others who fear, who turn away from happiness and find it hard to love and feel joy. I do not fear those parts of me or others. I just ask for your healing grace to bring light to that darkness. I choose of my own free will to rise up to the tasks you set before me with joy in my heart now. I thank you for the opportunity to live out my destiny with so much gladness in my soul. I thank you for the gifts you bring into my life that bring me joy and evoke unconditional trust from my heart to yours, May all beings be happy and free. Through my own free will and your divine grace, so be it. You may wish to complete this simple healing process by giving yourself permission to take some time to do something that brings you feelings of happiness, joy, or lightness of spirit. Perhaps that could be to dance, look up jokes, or find cute pictures of animals on the internet. Play in nature or with your pet, go for a swim, rest with your favorite book or piece of music, sing, write, paint, cook, lie on the ground and gaze up to the sky. I think it's going to be sitting on the swing at the park. Or just take a moment to breathe and feel that you are alive. Take a breath. Let it go. Awesome. How amazing and strange and beautiful that can feel. You have completed your healing process. So I'm going to show you the picture again. Her joy renders the impossible possible. Think about that. Holding onto the tail of a yak and going for a ride. That seems rather impossible. Rather not the choice one would make logically. But there she goes. There she goes. There's also a card in here called Hold On To Me. And she's on the yak, and there's a little boy holding onto the tail, kind of going for a journey. So we are on a journey, a joyful journey, a joyful journey. I think that is the piece out of this card that most of us probably need to take to heart at this point. This is meant to be a joyful journey, regardless of the darkness around us, regardless of the seeming impossibility of whatever it is we're wanting to manifest. We need to keep the faith, drop the fear, step into joy, and go along. Easier said than done, I know. But keep it in mind. Find a way to keep this foremost in your mind. And let's practice this. Again, I'm going to do this morning and evening. I'll go back and either bring it up on my Facebook page on my phone and listen to it, or I may do a recording of the prayer part and listen to that morning and evening. We'll see how it unfolds. But I wish you great joy today. Have an awesome Sunday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you are capable of far more than you think you are, and all of it covered with joy. Bye-bye.